Welcome back to TBC You Me, the podcast where we uncover the timeless wisdom of the Bhagavad Gita and explore how it can transform our modern lives. I'm your host, and in today's episode, we'll journey through verse 61 to 65 of chapter 2. These verses focus on controlling the mind, taming the senses, and ultimately finding peace through devotion and detachment. If you have ever felt overwhelmed by distractions, struggled to stay focused, or sought lasting inner peace, this episode is definitely for you. So let's dive right in. Verse 61. It states that one who restrains their senses and fixes their mind on me is steadfast in wisdom. Krishna begins by emphasizing the importance of self-control. He tells Arjuna that the senses are powerful and can easily pull the mind in different directions. However, by focusing on the higher self, on Krishna, one can master these distractions and achieve steadiness in wisdom. In today's digital age, distractions are everywhere. You know it, right? Like social media notifications, endless scrolling, and constant information overload. How often do we find ourselves losing focus on what truly matters? Krishna's message reminds us to direct our energy and attention towards something meaningful, like personal growth or spiritual goal. For example, sometimes when we are sitting on our work table or we are in the classroom, we just go to our phone, start scrolling mindlessly. We don't even think what we are looking for. Obviously, when we are scrolling, we are not looking for anything but just scrolling, something to feed our mind, and this has become a habit. So there is no focus. We need to find something to focus on. According to a study by Harvard University, the average person spends 47% of their waking hours thinking about something other than what they are doing. This mental wandering leads to stress and dissatisfaction. Mindfulness practices like focusing on a higher purpose or goal have been shown to reduce this wandering and increase happiness by 20%. So definitely there's no harm in trying, right? Think of athletes like Serena Williams or Sachin Tendulkar. Their focus on their craft, despite immense distractions, is a testament of self-discipline. By anchoring themselves to their goals, they have achieved greatness. Start each day by identifying your primary focus. When you wake up in the morning, just identify one primary focus. Write down your top 3 goals. Okay, let's just forget about the one. Top 3 goals and revisit them throughout the day to stay aligned. Verse 62. When one dwells on sense objects, attachment develops. From attachment, desire is born. From desire, anger arises. Krishna beautifully describes the chain reaction of the mind. Dwelling on the material desires leads to attachment, which breeds unfulfilling cravings, eventually resulting in anger and frustration. Consider how advertisements or social media influence our desires. Scrolling through luxurious lifestyles or products can spark unnecessary cravings, leaving us feeling inadequate and frustrated when we don't attain them. Think about it. Just have a mental, browse. Do you see something on social media, maybe your friends going on a trip or they're buying something and you feel like, I want it. And until you have seen that, you didn't want that. A 2023 survey by Pew Research found that 67% of people felt social media increased their materialistic desires, leading to dissatisfaction in life. Krishna's advice urges us to break this chain of attachment before it consumes us. Think about the story of Warren Buffett, who has famously avoided excessive desires. Despite being one of the richest individuals in the world, his minimalistic lifestyle reflects detachment, which has helped him stay focused and peaceful. Adopt a gratitude over greed mindset. Start a gratitude journal to shift your focus from what you lack to what you already have. It's very easy, and I personally do this, and it's very helpful. So start today. Verse 63. From anger comes delusion, from delusion, confusion of memory, from confusion of memory, the destruction of intellect, and from the destruction of intellect, one is ruined. Krishna explains how negative emotions like anger cloud our judgment and lead to a downward spiral. Anger destroys our ability to think clearly, okay, leaving us vulnerable to poor decisions and further harm. How many relationships have been strained or broken because of anger? Think about it. Think about your friendships, your relationships at home, with your partner, with your kids, with your friends, and you just think sometimes when you're angry, everything is strained and it is a vicious circle. Krishna's words remind us of the cost of losing control over our emotions and the importance of managing them wisely. The American Psychological Association in 2022 reported that unmanaged anger contributes to a 25% higher risk of cardiovascular diseases. This proves Krishna's point. Anger not only harms the mind, but also the body. Everything is linked. Your mind, your body, your emotions, they all work in a sync. So don't think that, oh, I go to gym, so me being vulnerable or me being having anger issues doesn't matter. They are all synced. Before reacting in anger, pause and take 3 deep breaths, okay? This simple act can interrupt the emotional spiral and allow you to respond thoughtfully. Recently, one of my friends was talking to me about, how he's so much engrossed with pain and grief. And I was like, okay, we need to break this emotional spiral. And it is very important sometimes to just step away from your emotions and take a deep breath. It really helps. Verse 64. A person free from attachment and aversion and who moves among sense objects with self-control attains divine grace. Krishna tells us that freedom lies in detachment, by neither being overly attached to nor repelled by worldly objects, and by maintaining self-control, one achieves inner peace and grace. Krishna as well, he enjoyed all the luxuries of his life, no matter what he was enjoying them, but he was not attached to any of it. He was just exploring and enjoying what this world has to offer, but not getting attached and getting submerged in all that. That is what we need to achieve. Imagine someone navigating office politics without being overly affected by praise or criticism. It is very tough because me as well, sometimes I felt very overwhelmed, that okay, this office politics is not good. And every office has it. There is a time when you have to detach, so they can focus on their work and inner satisfaction rather than external validation, leading to long-term success and peace. So it is very crucial next time whenever you and I both hear of the politics, any praise, any criticism, or someone trying to be cheeky with us, step back, take a deep breath, and focus again on what is important and essential. Practice emotional neutrality. Whenever you feel extreme emotions, positive or negative, take a step back and evaluate the situation objectively. I have been doing this and it is really, really fruitful. For example, my manager, he was trying to be very cheeky. He wasn't actually approving a few things, which he could have done very easily. And I was very overwhelmed. But I took a step back. I was like, okay, is this important? Can this wait? And objectively, I was trying to navigate through the situation. And it really calms you down and makes you move forward with no heavy emotions. Verse 65. When one attains peace of mind, all sorrows end and the intellect becomes steady. This verse encapsulates Krishna's promise. Achieving peace through self-control and detachment leads to the end of suffering. A calm mind fosters clear thinking and lasting happiness. But achieving that calm mind is something you have to work on. In a world where anxiety and depression are on the rise, this teaching is a reminder that peace doesn't come from external achievements, but from inner harmony. I volunteer for a charity and I speak to many people who are grieving, who are in pain. And I can see there is so much pain in the world. There is so much anxiety, and people need to learn how to end this suffering, how to gain back that self-control. And that comes if you focus on few elements of mindfulness, meditation, gratitude. The World Health Organization in 2023 estimates that 1 in 4 people globally will experience mental health issues in their lifetime. Krishna's teachings guide us toward inner calm as a preventative measure. Okay, there's a very inspirational quote that peace begins with a smile. Mother Teresa said this: a peaceful mind not only heals itself but also brings positivity to those around it. So, if you're not smiling right now while listening to this podcast, I guess it's time to have a smile on your face, and I'm sure it brings the right neutrality to your emotions and a beautiful face with that smile. In this episode, we have explored how Krishna's teachings on self control, detachment, and emotional regulation are more relevant than ever in our fast paced, distraction filled lives. From mastering your mind to cultivating peace, these lessons are tools for lasting happiness. Thank you for joining us on TBC You and Me. Be sure to tune in next time as we continue this incredible journey through the Bhagavad Gita. Until then, stay mindful, stay balanced, and stay inspired. Jai Shri Krishna.